Weather starts now with Jason Laird.
Good morning, everybody. Proud to have you along for the ride. 62 mild degrees to start things off in Great Falls this morning. 66 in the capital, looking at the low 60s in northeastern Montana. Keeping an eye on air qualities, a little bit deteriorated throughout western Montana due to some of those fires, and we'll likely see the same story into south central Montana. As for wind today, pretty light for central Montana. We are going to see some stronger wind gusts, though, into northeastern Montana. And that wind is going to kind of help keep a lot of that smoke out of the region here today. But again, we will see some stronger winds as a cold front drops through the state today. So as you notice on the wind gust forecast, most of it staying off in the Dakotas, but some heavier smoke expected into south central Montana due to those new fires. Today's forecast, a tiny bit cooler compared to where we've been. 88 degrees in Great Falls, 91 in the capital, and looking at the mid-90s throughout the eastern plains. The main reason for the slightly cooler day is an increase in clouds and a cold front that's going to be passing through the state. But as that cold front travels through, we do have the possibility of seeing some stronger storms, possibly even some severe thunderstorms out of this system. So here's how it's going to play out. We're up to about noon now. That high pressure ridge that's been camped out all weekend is going to crunch down a little bit with the passage of that cold front. This afternoon, though, you'll notice some isolated cells. They're expected to kick up around the capital, mostly in the mountains, then kind of track toward Lewistown. But really from Lewistown east is where those stronger storms are expected to travel here later this afternoon and evening as that cold front kind of settles in. So a little bit of an increase in clouds today, maybe a little breezy at times, and keep an eye to the sky for some stronger storms. Overnight lows more on the mild side, 54 in Great Falls, 56 in the capital, staying in the early 60s though for overnight lows in northeastern Montana. That high pressure ridge is going to sneak right on past that cold front, and it's going to rebuild tomorrow. That's going to allow for temperatures back into the 90s, at least for central Montana. Maybe a little bit cooler there throughout the eastern plains as that colder air still kind of filters in there. You'll notice tomorrow that cold front is going to continue to pass across the state, and that high pressure ridge again is going to rebuild, and that's what's going to drive temperatures back into the early 90s again tomorrow. And Wednesday, still looking at the high 80s, maybe a couple of 90s out there as well. 89 in Great Falls on Wednesday, 89 in the capital, and looking at the low 90s. So not quite as hot as last week, but still a very, very hot and dry week on tap. As we look a little bit further in advance now on the extended forecast, Wednesday, that high pressure ridge again going to re-amplify. That's going to allow for a very hot Wednesday and Thursday. But once Friday rolls around, we're going to start to see this cold front invading. That cold front is expected to pass through the state on Friday and allow for some slightly cooler air to kind of filter in this weekend. So probably not going to see a ton of storms out of the passage of this cold front, but we are going to see temperatures get back on track with more average, if not just below average, once next weekend rolls around. 88 degrees in Great Falls today, pretty much right on track with the high 80s and 90s. Then Friday, you'll notice that's when temperatures kind of take a little bit of a dive for us as a cold front passes through the region. 91 in the capital today. Overnight lows staying in the mid 50s and much cooler Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Shannon.